absolute pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for today's workshop, Dr. Sameer S. Gajghate. Dr. Gajghate is an accomplished researcher and an academician who is currently serving as an assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at G.H. Raisoni College of Engineering and Management, Pune. He holds a PhD degree in Mechanical Engineering Department from NIT Agartala. His impressive academic portfolio includes over 28 SCI publications and more than 35 national and international conference publications. Beyond his research, he has been recognized for his contribution with prestigious funding awards. In 2023, he received the International Travel Support from ACRB DST Government of India to present his research at ICP 2023 in Bali, Indonesia. Other than that, recently he received the award of Seminar Symposia Fund from Anusandhan National Research Foundation to organize a national workshop at GH Raisoni College of Engineering and Management, Pune. Other than that, he served as an associate editor for some reputed journals, which is indexed under SCI and Scopus. Today, Dr. Gajghate will be sharing his expertise on unlocking research funding, a guide to planning and writing research proposal. His insight will undoubtedly very helpful for all of us to secure funding for our research work. So without any delay, I will invite Dr. Sameer S. Gajghate to start the session. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Charbari, for nice introduction.
Sir, you can share your slide.
Yes. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
It is changing?
Yeah, it is. Sir,
Okay.
I think you have to select the slide and start the slideshow.
I am on the slideshow only. Just check changing.
No, sir. No, sir. Yeah, now it's changing. Now it's changing.
See?
Yeah, sir. Go to your first slide. Sir, it is stuck on your fourth slide.
Fourth slide. Okay. Think-
During the session, I will request all the participants to just mute your mics. If you have any query, after the end of the session, we will organize a question answer session. At that time, you can ask all the question to our expert. So write down all your queries during the session.
Okay, Charbari, shall I start now?
Yes, the slide is visible. Can you please change it once?
Yeah, second slide.
No, it's stuck on first slide.
There.
Share entire screen.
Yeah.
Rather than share PPT.
I think rather than sharing PPT, you can share entire screen.
Now changing.
Now it's perfectly fine, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I am Dr. Sameer Sheshav Gajghate, working as an assistant professor at Mechanical Engineering Department, GH Raisoni College of Engineering and Management, Pune. Thank you, Purnima University, for wonderful opportunity for me to have some experience to write and research proposal, sharing with you all. So directly going to the writing a research proposal, I just uh, giving us some innovative teaching learning method, which is comes under our uh, NBA category. So these are the some are the points which to be needed for improve the teaching learning methodology for the students. And under that category we have a encourage research. This is a clear message for the faculty to go for the research, and through research you can motivate your students for the innovative learning. So encourage research. How we can encourage the research? So to educate or to motivate the students to search new things using various tools to broaden their origins, means to make a students to think beyond the range of their vision, so they can cultivate a spirit of investigation. Like, and we, if we show the Three Dates movie, such kind of movie, when students will say, they will get some kind of motivation. So what is research? That part, if we will not share with our student, then the new generation will not divert it towards the research activity. So once they're motivated, we can give their exposure through the national and international conference, allow the students to do a literature survey in their relevant field. This will update their techniques or how to do the research for the better quality. Again, by doing the literature research or some experimental work, they can publish a more research paper. Not they, their supervisor, us as a faculty with a high impact journal. The main intention of doing the research and consultancy project is to improve the stand of the university or institute. Until and unless we do the research and that research is published on the international or national platform, and that platform is usable to have a research funding from the any sources, so this all achievement will boost the our stand of our university or the institutes. So attending the some national or international conference by any faculty, students, research scholars will get several contacts of their area of interest. The peoples or the professors who are belongs to national or international, and this meeting or gathering with the help of research paper in a conference will generate a collaboration. So this is the part of innovative teaching learning process under which we can encourage the students, and that students will encourage the others. So moving back to the our main today's agenda on the research proposal. So these are the key some points which are going to discuss with you all today. Before going to further slides, I just request anyone has any query, just ask after the completion of my presentation, so I can answer your queries in detail. So definition for the grant proposal. So what is a grant proposal? It is a structured documents which is submitted to the funding organization, which is maybe a government agency, non-profit foundation, private corporation, for the financial supports for a specific projects, program, initiative. It clearly outlines that funding grant proposal must have a objective, its significance and methodology, which can achieve your desired outcomes, and that outcomes should be beneficial to that organization who is going to sponsor you or fund you. So this is nothing but just a structured document for the applying for any grant proposal. So why there is a need to apply for the grant proposals? Okay, so we have a secure funding, because this was the primary goal. If you have some innovative idea, we need a financial support. So some supports will provided by the university or institution, or some are there cases no support from the institution. So who will going to support you funding for your research proposal? So this is to get the financial resources to support a project through any kind of agency. So that's why we need to write one proposal and to submit that respective funding agencies. Then what is cumulative goal? So this is nothing but just you have a problem and that problem has a unique solution to solve that issue of that firm, company, industry, government organization with your skill. Okay, so this is nothing but a one communication goal with the help of a grant proposal. Once you apply for any company looks that the professor has an expertise in this field, so it will be beneficial for our company, so they will make a long-term relation with you. So this will definitely helps to the professor's career and for the institute growth. Again, why you are going for the grant proposal? To demonstrate alignment, which shows the funder mission, objective, and funding. So if you are clean your missions, objectives, and fundings priorities for applying for the grant towards the any company, so it will attract the funder because you have a specific objective and why this objective to be resolved. Okay, now the established credibility. So what you will get, so this will give a credit that you are one expertise, have an experience to work on such simulation work, on experimentation, or have a survey type of things. Okay, so this definitely will help you to do the successful completion of any kind of projects and for the future also. Along with that, with using submission of a grant proposal, you can build a partnership with company, foreign university, Indian university, higher education institutes across India or around the world. So these things, if you go for the granting a proposal submission to any funding agency, so these are the 5 major points which will help you to get you the credibility. So now the next is, what is the role of principal investigator? So here is actually major of these points I will share. Some are the mention on the funding agency's website, and some are my own experience while submitting the proposals. So first thing is, principal investigator will be a prime contact between the funding agency and institutions. So I want to clear here one thing, why I mention as a primary contact, because the whatever the fund is released by the STEAM organization or funding agency, it will not be credited to the PI's account. It will go to the institution account, but institute will not report to the funding agency. The principal investigator has to report each and everything to the funding agency. So PI is fully responsible for implementing all the terms and conditions which is set by the funding agency, and to support the provide the regular reports to the agency, such as when the financial year ended. Suppose if you have a 3 years projects, so every 3 years you have to show the improvement of your projects. So you have to submit the utilization certificate of that years. Then and only, like an FIST project is there, who can apply SERB FIST. Those university or institution are running the PG courses to upgrade their laboratory. So department head has to apply for that FIST project. That is near about 3 years project. So if it is 2 crore was sanctioned by the funding agency, so you will not get the 2 crore at a time. First year you have to spend some 60 to 75%. If it is utilized, then only they will release the another grant. If it is a 0, then they won't release the second grant. And at the end of the financial year, means it is a March 30, 11:59 PM. If you not utilize your fund on the same financial year, on that day at the end of the March month, that all release fund will be transferred to the Prime Minister Relief Fund. Okay, so if it is applying for the projects, you must utilize some of the amount during that financial years. I am not saying that if it is 2 crores and you are getting a 1.25 crores, at least you spend some 25 lakhs or something else. If it is zero, then that money will be not remain in that account. It will be transferred to the uh, Prime Minister Relief Fund. Okay. The second thing is that if it is fund release, then you can't directly go and shop the material or the machineries. You have to follow some procedures. So this funding agency, especially government, will say you have to buy the what are the instruments material needed through the GEM portal. So that is government e-marketplace. If it is not available during 1 month or 2 months when you are floating the government e-marketing place, what you have requirement not available, then you can procure it through the open tendering. So for this also you have to do some process for the internal finance committee, technical committee. You have to take a meeting, you have to report it, and after their sanction, then only you can go for the open tendering. Next, before all these things, one should know that if you are going for the funding proposal, you should the institute or university should have a PFMS account. It is a unique kind of financial management developed by the government of India. So if it is institute or university is not having an account in a PFMS, then the fund will not release, because all the fund you are spending is monitored by the government of India through that portal, right? In that PFMS, you have a separate bank account, zero balance account, and that zero balance account, in case you are getting an international travel support grant, okay, or any FIST projects, so that money has to transfer to any bank account only, right? But it will comes through the PFMS. So you have to select that scheme FIST, and you have to map that FIST scheme with that zero balance account. Why zero balance account? Because at the end of financial year, you have to give all the sorts of balance clearance to the funding agency, because during that year you may got interest of that money, funding money. So that interest will be reduced. Means that is I say an example, if you have a 2 crore sanction, you have first 1.25 crore you have received. So within 1 year, for 1.25 lakhs, you gain some interest from that money. So that interest will be minus of remaining 75 lakhs. Okay, suppose it is considered as an 1.5 lakhs you got the interest. So second installment is of 75 lakhs. So they will minus 1.5 and remaining amount they will transfer in the second stage. So this monitoring will be done by the finance management system of that funding agency. So you need a PFMS account first, and thereafter zero balance account. You have to map the scheme with that zero balance account. Then and then only submission of this all the records to the funding agency, they will transfer the money to that account through PFMS. The second thing is that submitting a proposal, the PI should be check the plagiarism. It should be less than 20, and same declaration you have to submit while submitting a funding proposal. You may check either by Authentic or Authenticate or Ternity or other sources which is approved by Government of India. Okay. Additionally, if we are using some animals or human body parts, cells for experimentation, you have to submit a separate declaration regarding that. These are the some conditions are there that has to be taken care of the PI. Now, what are the eligibility for applying for any kind of funding proposal? So all the field must have a PhD requirement. Basically, I am little bit not sure about the medical science, means those who have completed MBBS or medical people. So that I'm not, but arts, commerce, basic science means MSc, BSc, those who are doing or engineering and technology, management people also. All the peoples are need the primary PhD degree. If you not, you can't apply for the projects. Then second thing is PI must be a regular or a permanent faculty, and same endorsement letter should be signed by the competent authority of that university or the institutes. If the faculty who has 11-month contract are not eligible to apply for the project, so these things has to be take care of that. If it is a regular person, not a permanent but regular, that endorsement should be given by the respective institutions. If you show this faculty is only for alignment contract in that endorsement letter, then the funding agency will not consider your the proposal. So you have to take care of that. Next is PI must superannuation, just we can say a retirement. So if you are applying for a 3-year project, so your retirement age should be a 5, means for retirement you must have 5 years balance your service. So if it is not, then that PI won't apply, can't apply for the funding. Age requirement is vary based on the funding agency, and some of the schemes are there. You can add a co-PI from its national or international, depends on the type of scheme for what you are looking. Now some key point, these things I suggest from my own experience, that while applying for any funding proposal, the PI should have some sound achievements, right? So in that first is a research achievement, because in portal also they will ask last 5 years how many papers you have published. That too in a good reputed journals, not a conference proceeding. They won't allow the conference proceeding. Filling tab is there. There is a no kind of support will be there to select the name of the journal. Okay, so any conference proceeding like an if you will see AIP conference proceeding. Okay, so there is no AIP conference proceeding in that drop down box, so that paper will not be counted. And patent also, if this is your research achievement, shows that you have good publication, you have a sound knowledge how to write the paper, how to conduct the public research through this publication or the patent. And patent also derive you that you have a design or a utility patent. If you have, means you have that type of skill to do the research. The second thing is that funding projects, means researchers should have some kind of funding. They must obtain any kind of funding, internal or external, from government, non-government or industry, from India or abroad. Okay, so any kind of project funding proof you have, or you did that projects, maybe it's consultancy also, that will give you one advantages while submitting the proposals. The second is institutional accreditations. So why I mentioned the institutional accreditation, one thing is the Spark scheme was launched in 2018 by Ministry of Education. Previously it is what, MHRD. Under that Spark scheme, they have clearly mentioned the NRF rank 100 institutes are only eligible to apply for this. Okay, so if it is the Spark scheme allow the only NRF rank 100 or 150 or 200 institutes to apply, so definitely these other funding agencies, government agency will looking that your institute were accredited by NAAC or NBA or have some good reputations in the form of research. Okay, so this is my personal perspective. I feel that if it is a college is newly and a person have a good publication, but the college reputation is not good, so maybe his proposal may not consider for the further process. This is my personal perspective. Okay, now that is skill match. See, you have an innovative idea. Okay, but innovative idea, how to resolve that innovative idea, maybe your skill is not that much of support you. Means that innovative idea has a 5 terms to solve, and you are only 3 terms you can solve. But remaining two terms you can't solve. So without hesitation, in that skill gap, add or adopt a co-PI from India or abroad. If it is scheme which should be submitted with the international collaboration, then you can select the international professor, or it is India, then you may select the co-PI from the India who has the remaining skills. So this will boost the quality of the proposal, because the evaluation paper, what we'll see, he has to resolve the 7 queries, and the skill of the PI, main PI only expertise in the 2 skill, but remaining no. So if it is co-PI, then it will consider that your proposal may be considered for the next process. So that's why skill should be matched when you give the title of that project. That should be of your own skill, or else you can adopt the QPA. Then submission guidelines. Avoid the submitting the funding project under any pressure. Yes, any private institution will say some anyhow this scheme has launched, please submit the things. Okay, so don't take it as a negative way. This is will think about the one type of positive way, because you will get the knowledge how to sign the account opening in the funding agency, how to prepare your account, what kind of documents is required to submit the proposal, any key points. Okay, how to submit it, through these things, how I can collaborate with the national or international institutes or university. Okay, so think about that. Also, if it is not fully you are interested, don't go for the submission, because if it is your idea is too innovative, then I think so your idea will be exposed. Okay, so it will go to the means like a dustbin. So try to avoid these things. For author recognition, I suggest you to prepare your Scopus author ID, Vidwan ID. For Vidwan ID, I think government mail ID is required. I don't know now any rules have changes or not. Then ORCID, then Web of Science ID, or others ID should be there, because some of the cases evaluator may check your Scopus profile also, because what you have filled and what the Scopus will shows your database that may be cross verified. So these things is needed. Now the key component of a grant proposal. So we have to think about the writing the proposals in depth. So we should know the summary of the projects, what is the problem, its objective, and how objective can be resolved by the experimentally, numerically, and theoretically. Okay, for solving this issue, what type of budget you needed, that you have to know, and how you can cope up the your methodology while using going with the evaluation. So these are the key components we will discuss in little bit in a depth why it is necessary. So the executive summary is nothing but a concise overview of the proposal, typically 1 or 2 paragraphs that highlights the purpose of project, what it is the significance, and the key points to engage the funder. Okay, so this summary should be highlighted parts which attract the funder to give you the fund. Okay, and this will serve as an elevator pitch to capture the funder interest, that you can maybe a novelty. Without novelty, no one is going to be fund you the finance for your projects. Okay, the second one is it summarize a goal, method, and outcomes. So as you talked about the purpose, why I want to do these projects, what is the benefit, and okay, so in this case you have to answer in that summary what are your goals, how you can solve this your problem through methods, and how you will achieve your outcomes. So this short 1 to 2 paragraph you have to explain in your funding proposal. Then problem statement. It is nothing but a comprehensive description of the issue are needed that project aims to be addressed. Comprehensive description. Exactly what is the problem in that such application. Okay. Why it is needed? It provides a context and establish the project importance, because without importance you can't convince the funder that problem is significant, and solving this will be benefited to the STEAM organization. Okay, so until and unless you can convince them, no one is going to fund you the same. The third one is objective. Objective should be a smart way. It should be written in a smart way, like in specific. Then it should be a measurable, achievable. It should be a relevant, and it must be completed in the time bonded. Okay, so you have to prepare the objective keeping your mind that you are using a smart technique. Then why we are needed to do the objective? It give the significance, it will demonstrate the feasibility of the project and provide the benchmark of measuring the success of project. Then methodology, it is a detailed action plan which is outlined how your project will achieve its objective. Yes, if you have 5 objective, how you will 5 objective will be resolved within that time bond. So these things you have to explain in this methodology section. Okay, which includes strategy, what type of tools is required, and at what timeline you are going to complete that strategy. Okay, that is nothing but a methodology. Why this is again needed? It shows funder how the project will be executed, and if it is within the time limit, and this way you are going to be executing your project with some tools, it will build the trust between the funder, and it shows that you are carefully plan your project executions. Okay, so that manner you have to write the methodology part. The second is budget. Yes, definitely, to do any project you need a financial support from any government or non-government organizations. So that should be a comprehensive breakdown of the funding requirement which are required for your resources for all the activities. Again, why it is needed to comprehensive breakdown of the budget? Because it assures the funder that their money will be utilized effectively and it has a clear financial plan. Because funder is giving some amount of money for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, so they should know whether they are wasting their money or really we will get any kind of beneficial for funding that projects. So that financial plan will be very effectively must be utilized. So this will supports the funding. Okay, so in this way you have to break down the budget. Then evaluation, a plan to access the project effectiveness and measures it outcomes. So you should know how I can access the project effectiveness effectively within the time bond using a better strategy and with the use of tools. Okay, so this demonstrate the accountability and commitment to achieving the result, or you can say a goal or the outcomes within that time. So this helps funder understand the impact of their investments. So if it is 5 objective will be resolved by 5 methodology, one objective if you resolved in 6 months, and if one objective is you solved, then if it is that one objective is also helpful for the company, then their investment is they have investment in the good projects. So this will boost the one trust between the project investigator and the funding agency. Now the remaining slides which are going to discuss over here is the 2 parts are there. Some parts are the basically these points is from the SARB or DST project funding proposal. So these are the points. Some are the points which inside the portal you have to add the text, and some other parts are there. There you have to prepare one different Word file with that points, and that you have to upload while submitting the projects. So in that project summary, just we have discussed and objectives. Along with that, you have to put the keywords. So what are the 5 major keywords is there with respect to your project title? You have to put that keywords only. Then you have to clearly specify expected outcomes and outcome of the output and outcome of the proposal. That is into some 1000 words or 600 words limitations are there for everything. So you have to follow that terms and condition. Any other relevant, if in case, suppose like I am belongs to a one material person, so we go for the coding, then characterization, then testing. Okay, and uh, Y person is known about the coding and characterization. He doesn't know about the experimentation. So if you mention here that I am a key expert in the characterization coding, okay, the evaluator will come to know that he has this much of skill, but experimentation he has taken the PI help. So clear mention any other relevant or any other kind of achievement is there rather than the publication funding projects, that also you can mention in the or the output which are not listed on the above point, you can mention in this also. Then suitability of proposed work in the major national initiative government. This will be the question arises. So you have to select whether your project will be help in the startup, innovative India, make in India. So these are the list will there in drop down box. You have to select one of that. If not supporting the any scheme of the government of India, you have to choose only not applicable. Okay. The next they will ask you the theme of proposed work, whether your proposed work is falls under the Internet of Thinking, energy, then hydrogen, okay, cybercrime. So this kind of theme you have to select. Then the next point, they will ask collaboration details for last 5 years. So any collaboration within India you have did, if yes or no. If yes, then you have to add the details, what type of collaboration works you have did last 5 years. Okay. The next they will ask for the foreign scientist or institution you have collaboration or you are going to plan. If it is plan or you have already completed any proposed work with the foreign collaboration, you just select yes and share the details of that. Okay, so these are the 9 points which has to be the text has to be added into directly into the portal. Now this is the other technical details. This is your Word file, separately Word file, no limitation of page length. Some scheme will ask to limit the page of this, like an SIRE, SERB International Research Excellence for 6 months will be fund for assistant professor to go abroad to do the research in foreign university. So they have limitations of setting these other technical details within a 2 page. Okay, so we have to follow that guidelines. Now the other technical details, first point they will say state of the arts. So here you have to introduce your problem, why you are willing to do a project in such title. Okay, so you have to give the answer in the state of arts. It should be max to max 1 page, not more than the 1 page. Then origin of the proposal, where you got this idea to do the project. So here under this category you have to discuss about the literature. Okay, and that literature you have to categorize into 2 parts, international and national. Means internationally in that area how much work has been done, and nationally how much work has been done. So you have to make the 2 part of that origin of proposal. So this should be not more than the 4 to 5 pages. So we have to follow some guidelines of the government funding agency to prepare the proposal. Then work plan. In work plan, first will be the methodology. Okay, already you have text added the text in the objective in a portal. Okay, so in this other technical detail you have to write in-depth methodology, how you are going to complete the resolve the all the objectives one by one. Okay, so as soon as you will mention here which are the tools you are going to use, which are the mathematical relations you are going to use, uh, any simulation part, any softwares, so that all you will discuss in the 3.1. But in 3.2 you have to show that activity through the bar diagram. Nowadays they are asking for the chart graph, so we have to take care about that. They required such type of diagram you have to present as a time schedule in 3.2. Okay. The next, in that other technical details, you have to insert, fill the details of the expertise. So these all the 4 points, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and 4.2. It is both applicable to the both the PI and co-PI. If it is the proposal was submitted by the 2 person, all of them has to be addressed. That expertise, what kind of expertise you have to execute that project. So you have to clearly mention that XPI has this expertise. Then Y co-PI has some of the expertise. So you have to indicate that also. Then the role of and responsibility of investigator. In case if Purnima University is doing some part of the project and GHRCM Raisoning doing this some part of the projects. So you have to clearly mention from the methodology part, what are you going to on which locations, and what are the methodologies part you are going to conduct in the Pune. So that has to be distributed because you are adding co-PI, so he has to do something work, right? It is not to add only the namesake purpose. You have to distribute that responsibility accordingly. Then you have to show the key publication which basically related to your proposal. Okay, so keep it in mind. Already I have mentioned in the previous slide that the skill should be matched. Okay, if it is like I am a mechanical engineer and I am submitting a proposal in the electrical domain, so it won't work. Maybe you think you have idea novel and it is not be resolved by any scientist till date, but still you don't have that skill or research sense to solve that issue with the help of as an proof with the help of publications. So this will bad impression of your proposal, shows the bad impression in front of the evaluator, so it may rejects. If you have some bibliography published, so you can mention here also. Then the list of projects submitted or implemented. So here PI and co-PI, if both they are there, so you have to mention the last 5 years, what are the different types of projects you submitted, funding agency, whether it is under implementation, and which are the projects are in completed in last 5 years. So 5.1 there will be A and B for PI and co-PI. Again 5.2 there will be A and B for implementation. If either of one doesn't have any funding in implementation or complement, just not applicable you mention, but other person if you have to mention it. But that table is there, you have to put it, but you can't remove that table from the these sections. Okay, so this my numbering is wrong, that is 5.1, 5.2 and 5.3. The next is 6th point, equipment available. So here both co-PI and PI has to mention the infrastructure facility available in their respective institutions. Okay, the second is 6.2, if it is in a department, if it is in the institute, or based on PI and co-PI institution, you have to mention what kind of equipment are available, sophisticated equipment are available to execute that project. That helps, that also you have to reveal under this 6th number point. Okay, later on you have to give the references while preparing this funding proposal. Okay, so now the why I show here budget detail in later on, because it contains some again in-depth information while submitting the projects. Okay, so to your left side it is institutional wise budget details, where you have option research personnel means manpower. If you are hiring, that details you have to put how much costing will be go. Then consumable, if you are going to spend some money on travel, maybe for the conference or the survey purpose. If you want to purchase some equipment, that you have to mention here. Contingency amount, other cost or overhead cost. Okay, so these are the major 7 details you have to fill under the budget section. So we will move one by one in detail of that. Okay, so research personnel, if it is 3-year projects, so you have to select one research personnel. Means if you are going to hire a JRF, SRF or research associate, so as per the government regulation, their what will their salary, so that you have to put into year 1, year 2, year 3. Okay, so by default total will be generated. So this will show the year wise budget for the research personnel. Okay, so see, research personnel budget, designation will be JRF, means you are hiring a JRF for your project, 3-year projects. So the costing will be go like that. Year 1 he will get some money, 2, 3, means first and second year it will be same, because JRF will become a SRF in the 3rd year. So that amount should be mentioned in the 3rd year. So accordingly total will be generated. Okay. Second will be the consumable. So if you go for the material type, or chemistry peoples are doing the project, so you need a chemical. Okay, so maybe first year you need some one chemical, second year you need other material, third year need it for other material, some stationery you required continuously, some glass material is required. So the consumable which can be used and will ended in that area. Okay, it will not be a permanent thing, will remain with you. So such kind of material you are purchasing, so you have to mention their cost and justification why you are needed for this project, this consumable item. Okay, that justification is required. Then you have to mention the travel budget, that first year how much you want, second year, third year. This travel budget also having limitations, means I think 1 lakh or 3 lakhs is there, max you cannot go with above that amount. Okay, so first year why you are going for the travel for first year when it is the start of your project, so you may say here justification for survey purpose, some kind of survey or some data collection, like that way. Second year you may go for the presentation. Maybe you go for the some characterization, if it is characterization techniques is machineries are not available in the parent institute, so you have to travel for the characterization to other institutes. So in that way you have to mention the cost of the travel budget. Okay, so see the justification for their field work. For each and every budget you have to give the justification why you want to go for the conference. Okay, why you want to go for the field survey. So you have to mention all the requisite details. The next is equipment budget. So you need some equipment to do the projects, your submitted projects. So you need some generic material or generic instruments. So you have to mention that how much quantity, how much it will be spare. Means if it is suppose you are purchasing the scan electron microscope machine. Okay, so definitely it will be 100% spare, because not only you, other people, those who are working on the material part, or chemistry people will chemistry, physics, they also need some help from that. So here you have to mention the percentage of that generic instruments. So its model, make, okay, and it estimated cost. Once your project has been approved, then you have to submit the quotation for this equipment. So while putting the amount of this generic model, just previously collect the quotation from the supplier, and then only you quote that amount, and try to quote that amount 15% or 20% with the rise, because when the approval will get for your funding proposal, maybe it already crosses the 1 year, so the price of equipment will be rises. So you have to think about accordingly, and you have to plan that amount, because you have a quotation of X amount, but maybe how much time they will to get your the funding proposal approval. So accordingly, you have to mention the amount. Okay. So in that way, you have to fill the detail of equipment budget. Then contingency. Okay. So if it is you want some printers, toner to purchase, pages you have to purchase, some other stationary works are needed. So whatever you are going to be the spend on that, you have to mention in the contingency. Okay. uh, then overhead budget, so it will be calculated by the overall above all the heads, and accordingly it will be generated in the year 1, 2 and 3. So why this overheaded means, in case the budget will cross the limitations, suppose the scheme has a 50 lakhs of funding, and maybe some of the amount has to be paid by the institution, or that amount is not sufficient to complete that project. So these things you have to mention in the overhead budget. Then other budget. So some are the institutions are there, they are purchasing the equipment through this GEM portal for the projects. So they will ask taxes, administrative fees, like an if it is foreign made instrument you are calling in India purchasing, so you have to pay the taxes. Okay. Custom duty fee. So in quotation, maybe custom not mentioned. So you have to mention that custom, how much is will be the custom fee you have to going to custom taxes you have to going to pay. So that will be counted as an other budget. So this is all about the funding proposal in detail, all the points I have discussed, and already I have shared to Ms. Dr. Sharwari the list of funding agencies, one PDF, which is I collected from PSG College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. They have mentioned all the funding agencies with their address, contact details. That PDF I request Dr. Sharwari to share to everyone. If it is you have generated the WhatsApp group, or you may share it on this Google Meet chat. Okay. So we recently that SERB has been transitioned to the ANRF, Anusandhan National Research Fellowship. So that is ANRF. DEST is Department of Science and Technology, CSIR, Department of Automotive Engineering, DOE, UGC, ICT. So many more funding agencies are there in our India. Also some foreign universities or foreign government also in collaboration are there to support for the funding. So you have to look accordingly what is your expertise, and whether the international professor is willing to do the project with you or not. Okay. Just I want to share one thing. This was the proposal I submitted for the seminar grant. So I got the seminar grant to organize this workshop, 2 days workshop, which is leveraging machine learning and artificial intelligence for optimizing green hydrogen production. So basically we planned on it was 6th and 7th March, but due to this some consequences, because NBA team is going to visit in that same week, so we requested SERB to give us some time to organize this program. So we tentative date will be 8th and 9th May in the same area. Once it is approved by SERB, we will officially advertise this workshop. Okay. So interested maybe can start the registration. Already we have shared the link. Google link form is there. You can register with that. Okay. So this is the only workshop I have got recently approval from the ANRF. Thank you. Anyone has any query, please ask.
Good evening to all of you. So very first, myself, I am Dr. Deva Balan, Dean Research and Development and professor and head also from Madurai, Tamil Nadu, Fatima Michael College of Engineering Technology. Can you hear, sir?
Yes, please.
Yeah, that is very nice presentation, Dr. Samir. You are presenting excellent regarding that how we will get that funding proposal in each and every. It is look and corner. You explained about that, and section wise you narrated about that. So really fantastic. You given that valuable information to the forthcoming who they are initiating to submitting the proposal, and for that already being and the process that they are doing. So really excellent, sir. So I'm having one little bit doubt. So for example,
Please.
we are being at engineering sector. So for example, we have to be taken and we have to be given the proposal as an artificial intelligence based on healthcare somewhat. So at that time, whether we will be included that some medical practitioner as an principal investigator, it's possible.
Yeah, that is needed, sir, because they will think how you can going to solve you that proposals issue. How
Okay.
you going to, because you are from the technical background, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's why I'm
medical
asking.
issue, how you are? Yes.
So because some doctors, some of our friends are there. So especially the healthcare and medical terms, they only well versed, they are expertise in that. So we are in the
It's
technical, they are in the medical field. So that's it is
right.
possible to combine that both disciplines. No?
Yes. Only
Yeah.
check the eligibility for them. Just I shown you the medical sciences people, because many of them are by default doctor, right? So
Hmm.
for them also PhD degree is needed or not. That has to be clear.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So we
just
have to be. Yeah.
check with the scheme formality, terms and condition. Means
Okay.
in
Okay.
any practitioner has his qualification MBBS, right, or MD,
Uh,
but that is enough for to add as an copy or not. I'm not sure.
Okay. 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 So
That
depend upon
part is
the
missing.
agencies.
Yeah.
Depend upon the
Agency.
agencies, we have to check it that.
Yes, right.
Okay. I think the in normal in a general thing, it is possible to be collaborated as a COPA. That is, we have to integrate as a COPA. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your very marvelous and session for that is delivered to all of us. Thank you once again, sir. Thank you.
Thank you
And
for your.
thank you to the team regarding that Purnima University is organizing that a very excellent regarding that is very it is mandatory need for this our time concern time being aspect also. All the committee
Yes.
coordinators and all the teams about to
In
for
the
your
yes,
congratulations to
Devbhagan
everyone.
sir.
Thank you.